Hi guys, it's Amy in my channel Strength Reversed. Thank you for watching this video. Today is day 4 of the 7 days 7 decks challenge hashtag on Instagram, and I will post who is hosting it below, and I will also post the link to the spread that I am using, because one of my goals for this year is to use more spreads. I'm not usually a spread person. So the deck that I'm using today is the Sacred Circle Tarot, and I really like this one. I don't usually use it because it is a bit pippy. I think that's what keeps me from it, but it's a beautiful spring day and this deck just keeps calling to me. The spread that I'm using is a spread by Kelly Ann Maddox. It's called the Deep Wild True spread, and I will post a link to the video because I did get it off of a YouTube video. I'll post that in the description. And so this is just out of my tarot journal, and it is how to live more deeply, wildly, and truly. So we're picking 2 cards for each one. Card A is the problem or block or what prevents you from living more deeply, wildly, or truly, and card B is the action or what you can do to remove the block. I know it's sloppy, but I'll describe as we go. And I'm going to do another practice reading. So this is not about anyone in particular, although you can always get something out of the reading as the reader. And then you can pause it, and then you can tell me what in the comments if you got anything different. We can compare notes, which I think is a really good way to learn. So I usually don't do this, but I'm going to turn over all the cards. The first 2 are reversed, so you don't have to read reverse cards. If you don't do reversals, that's cool. Okay, so the first card here is card 16. So that corresponds to the Tower. In this deck, it's called Initiation, and it is reversed. And that is the block to living deeply, plugging into life, having more profound experiences. So that's the deep part. And the call to action is the 5 of Wands, or they call it grounding. Feel free to ignore the keywords as I do, and that's annoying. And then wild is taking risks, being bolder, feeling more brave, harnessing personal power, or being free. The block, we have the wheel, and the call to action is the Queen of Cups, which is labeled intuition. Again, I've ignored that. And then the true part is speaking or living your truth, dropping your persona, being your authentic self, being true to yourself. So we have the King of Cups in the block and the 4 of Swords as the call to action. So feel free to pause this and do your own reading, and then we can compare notes afterward. Okay, so if you've practiced, I'm interested in the comments below for you to tell me what you got out of this. But as I'm looking at this spread, here's what I'm getting. We have the deep cards, both the problem and the removing the block are reversed. So I feel like there's a stuckness there. This card 16 corresponds to the Tower. In this deck, it's called Initiation. This brings up for me trial by fire. So this is what is stopping you from living deeply. I feel like when this is reversed, it's a little bit of a surfacey kind of living. And she wrote that this is about plugging into life and having more profound experiences. And I think there is, because this is reversed, and if you imagine the Tower and the kind of intensity that that card has, I think there's a fear there of letting in possible hurt and upset and not wanting to upset the status quo in your life and kind of not embracing that. But that really is your initiation into deeper secrets and deeper meaning in life, is that how you deal with those moments. And so I think here I'm seeing a tendency to maybe not allow those opportunities for growth in, because you don't want to deal with the hurt. So the action for removing the block. Now this is the Five of Wands, and in this deck it's called grounding. This is why I don't like keywords, because to me this has, it doesn't really say that to me. The Five of Wands is sort of a struggle. It's almost like the sibling rivalry card, where in one of my decks, if they quit fighting, it would make this perfect pentacle. But the Five of Wands to me is about, there's this need here because it's reversed to kind of drop the fight that you're putting up and the defensiveness that you're putting up, to letting possible difficult emotions in. And so I think for our mystery practice querent, that is what is blocking him or her from living a more profound, deep, plugged in kind of a life. Is just, there's a wall put up against dealing with intense experiences. The next two are wild, which is taking risks, being bolder, feeling more brave, harnessing your personal power, and being free. So the block I see here really relates to this, the Wheel of Fortune. This person probably intuitively knows that shit happens. For me, the wheel is the shit happens card. Like, it's change that it just is cyclical change that you don't have so much control over. And there might be this fear of being too free or letting too loose and giving up some control, because this person might always, like me, be waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Eventually, you know, it's all fun and games till someone gets hurt. And so to remove that block, I see the Queen of Cups. And this is mastery of the inward. The Queen of Cups trusts her intuition. She embraces her emotions. And she just has the strength to deal with the turn of that wheel. So whatever's coming up, she has this inner reserve of strength to go with it. And so I think to remove the block of like trying to get this wheel to not change, there's just so much resistance here. I think that person has to turn inside and really trust themselves and really find that inner part of themselves that is connected to the divine that they know is going to be there to support them, and cultivating that relationship. And it's interesting that the block here for the true is the King of Cups. So this is the problem or block, or what prevents you from living your truth, dropping your persona. This is what Kellyanne Maddox is, how she's defining this card. Speaking your truth, living your authentic, being your authentic self, or being true to yourself. I think this person has really profound emotions, and you can see like the guard dog here. There's kind of a barrier. They have their emotions maybe too tightly under control. I think maybe this person is a Scorpio. I think there's a lot going on. You know, still waters run deep. A lot going on beneath the surface. And I think if they They feel like if they were too honest, the dam would break, or people would go, holy crap, like what is that? And maybe they fear judgment a little bit. And so the action to remove that block, the Four of Swords, this says rest, but I think this is about taking care of yourself. This is a very stable card. I think it's a positive card. I like this card, and I think the Four of Swords is about taking the time for yourself to do what you need. It's about getting your thoughts to be more, I would say, neutral, and not letting your emotions run everything, but really kind of, can we do some meditation? Let's call it meditation. You need to get in touch with her and kind of, you know, not him, her, this one. Good. Okay, so this is I think there's a nugget of truth in here for me. For sure this could be me. For sure I'm afraid of, like, everything deep down inside that I might have to deal with if I let go of the control that I really like to believe that I have, but really I don't have. So let me know in the comments, you guys, what you think of this reading, or of this spread, or if you got anything different out of these cards. And don't forget to like or subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Bye, guys.